Alibaba launched Qwen 3.6-Plus, and the highlight isn't just the improved response, it's the fact that it's a native multimodal agent. In other words, it doesn't just read text, it understands images, videos, interfaces all together in the same context. And here are some really interesting points. First, visual reasoning. It can already analyze more complex videos with much more consistency. It's no longer just looking at a frame and guessing. Second, accuracy. It identifies fine details in images with very high precision, something that was really difficult before. And maybe the most important thing for those who create or program, visual coding. You show it a design, a layout, an interface, and it instantly turns that into code. In other words, you're no longer describing everything in text. Now, you show it and it understands. And this completely changes the way we create apps, automate tasks, and even develop projects from scratch. Shall we see how it works? So, let's get to the video. But before that, I want to show you a practical way to prepare for the future without having to stop everything you're already doing. Coursera is one of the largest online education platforms in the world, and it works together with companies like Google, IBM, and Meta to offer courses that really make a difference in the market. And here's the most important point. These aren't just theoretical courses. You learn hands-on by developing skills that companies are looking for right now. For example, within the platform, you can find complete programs like the Google Professional Certificate in Data Analysis, Project Management, and even Artificial Intelligence for Beginners. In fact, Google's AI program on Coursera was created specifically to help you apply artificial intelligence in your daily work, using real tools like Gemini and other modern solutions. In other words, you don't just learn how to use AI, you learn how to create solutions with it. Another strong point is flexibility. You can study at your own pace, fit the courses into your routine, and make progress without having to leave your job or completely change your schedule. And in the end, you still receive certificates recognized by major companies, which can really open doors in your career. So, if you want to stay relevant, grow professionally, or even change fields, this is the kind of skill that's already being required right now. So, it's worth taking a look at the link down below in the description and seeing how these courses can fit into your life and transform your career. Alright, let's get back. Well guys, today I want to share with you the launch of Qwen 3.6-Plus. Let's listen. Presenting Qwen 3.6-Plus, moving towards real-world agents. Today, we are very happy to announce an important milestone in our journey towards native multimodal agents. Here's what makes Qwen 3.6-Plus a game changer. Next level agentic coding, execution plus smarter and faster vision, enhanced multimodal vision, sharper perception and reasoning, high level performance while maintaining overall leadership capabilities. A 1 million token context window available by default through our API. Get ready to experience truly transformative programming in Vibe coding. After multimodal reasoning, multimodal, more life, perception, reasoning series with 3.5 in February, we are pleased to announce the official launch of Qwen 3.6-Plus available immediately through our API. This version represents a significant upgrade over its predecessor. Here they present some benchmarks, and in Terminal Bench 2.0, Qwen 3.6-Plus surpassed Cloud Code 4.5 Opus. It's worth noting here that it's not 4.6, it's 4.5. So it's important to make it clear because this comparison isn't being made with Anthropic's latest model, it's the previous version. And in the other benchmarks here, we can see that this is a model that's very much on par with closed source models, which is cool because it shows the evolution of Chinese open source models. So how do we access it? There are a few ways. The first way is through the API. So, if you want to use this model in your project, it will cost 5 cents per input and $3 per output, which is a very low price compared to other models we have on the market today. However, if you want to use it for free, the new model, Qwen 3.6-Plus, is available here on Qwen Chat. So, you just need to sign up for the tool here. You'll use your email and then you can use it without having to worry about paying anything. I'll show you what I achieved and the results are very promising. Now, if you want to use it in a CLI, for example, Cloud Code or Qwen, which is what I recommend because it's really cool, here's what you'll do. You'll go here to Open Router. Notice that I have Qwen 3.6-Plus here for free, so you won't pay anything. Then you'll scroll down a little on the screen and click here to create a free API key. Notice that I already have one here. Then you'll copy this key. You'll go to the Qwen.ai website. I'll leave all the links properly in the description of this video. Then you'll install Qwen code on your computer. There are all these options here. Once the installation is finished, I open my command prompt. Then I'll type that in. Notice that I'm already using Qwen 3.6-Plus here. When you enter for the first time, you won't have any model linked here. Then you'll press /connect. Here you'll type Open Router. It will show up right here. And here you'll paste your API key. Once you've done that, the next time you open the model, it'll already be there and you can use it in a way very similar to Codex, Cloud Code, and so on. So it's another way to access it without having to pay anything using an API from Open Router. Okay? Let's go to the easiest way here, which is using QEM chat. In this first example here, I asked it to create a 3D simulation of a Formula 1 car doing a donut there. Look here, my Formula 1 car is doing a donut. É impressionante que foi We have a single prompt in natural language. The prompt was in English and I got this result right away. It's pretty cool, isn't it? In this other example here, I asked it to create a clone of Apple's operating system, Mac OS. I also asked it to add some apps, some functions. It created the code for me, I saved it, and now let's open the browser. There you go. I'm here with my Mac OS clone. So here we have the Finder, the terminal, which works. I can close it, everything works nicely, and there's also a calculator. Text editor, notes, settings where I can change the wallpaper. Notice that it added a transparency function here. So when I move the window here over another one that's open in the background, I get this transparency effect, which is really cool and very hard to do, especially when it comes to an open source model. In this other example here, write a web page with 3D animation simulating a school of fish. The scene is a table with an aquarium on top. Take a look. Here's my aquarium, the little fish inside, the plants moving over there, and here's the rotational movement. Pretty cool, right? All of this with a single prompt. Here's another example to test the rendering of this new model. Create a 3D scene of a snowy mountain with a Japanese-style temple in the center, with an overall style inspired by The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. And I asked it to do it in a single HTML file. And this is the result I got. Look at what it managed to render here. It's really cool, a simple HTML, which is very hard to do, especially with open source models. And it managed to render it really quickly here. In less than a minute, it gave me this result. Now check out this other simple prompt here. Create for me a flying game in a single HTML file with a first-person perspective, takeoff, flight, etc. And this was the result. Look how cool it is. Notice that I have all the flight controls here. Here I accelerate, decelerate. Really cool, right? It rendered everything properly and gave me the result in less than a minute. In this other example here, I asked it to create a landing page for my jewelry store. So here I have the home page, here the collections, and here the contact. I have my shopping cart here where I can add items, working perfectly. Check out, continue shopping. So he made the page here in Brazilian Portuguese. He created this whole interface here for shopping, cart, etc. Using a very simple prompt, just so it would create this landing page. The rest it did all by itself. Another fantastic thing about this new model is that it can create presentations. So I'm going to put my prompt here. Create a PowerPoint presentation with 5 slides, combining text and images to present the life of Van Gogh. Let's send it. Let's see what the result will be. Okay, it's finished here, and look at the quality of this material. Slide number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 slides, just the way I asked, combining image and text. If I want to download it, just click here on the button and it downloads for me in PDF format. Look how cool that is. It's not in PPTX format yet, but it managed to generate it for me here in PDF format, which is really cool because I can create it, I can refine it, and then download it here to my computer. As you can see, besides using this model here to generate code and presentations, I can also create images, create videos, and also create web applications. When I select this button here, it will automatically create that preview. So I no longer need to save the code on my computer to view it. I just need to request it here. It will generate the code and I can already view it within the tool itself. Let's test it. So let's go. Since they say here that this is a multimodal model that can visualize anything, I'm going to upload this screenshot and ask it to replicate it and replicate this design. Let's see if it can do it. See that it has already started coding and now I have the preview option here. So if you want to view it within the tool, just activate the WebDev function here. Done. It's finished and look at the result. It managed to replicate the interface for me here. And the coolest thing is that it's a responsive interface. So I have the buttons here, the date, everything working perfectly based only on that screenshot I gave. So, as they said during the launch, this is the multimodal model. It understands text, image, and video. So guys, give it a try. It's available for free through OpenRouter if you want to use the API, or right here in CoinChat. So, with these two possibilities, you can create pretty much anything using the open source model. And they're saying, at least at the time I'm recording this video, that it's the best open source model ever released so far. So, do you agree? Have you tried it yet? What did you think? Is there anything good here? Or is it just community hype? Let me know in the comments, okay? See you in the next video. Bye bye.
The highway is a ghost and the moon is a dime.